Health experts are warning about a viral trend called Tanmaxxing, in which young people seek more UV exposure, sometimes without sunscreen, to get a darker glow. Dr. Michael Christopher, known as the melanoma hunter, says that glow can come with real skin damage and a higher long-term risk of skin cancer.
If you want to age at light speed, go out and get a tan and do it continuously. When you are 20 years older, you're going to look 20 years older than somebody who is age matched to you, and you're going to wish you never did that. It is literally the biggest regret I hear from my patients tell me every day. I wish I never went out into the sun. I wish I didn't do this. Their skin is super thin, frail, and they have a ton of skin cancer. So it is not a wise thing to do.
Dr. Christopher also highlights the dangers for young people who embrace Tanmaxxing. He says there is strong evidence that UV-related sun damage when you're young, particularly as an adolescent, raises your risk for skin cancer, and gave this warning.
Those mutations that you obtain in your skin, they do not go away. And the longer we are on Earth, fortunately and unfortunately, the more likely you are to develop a cancer. So you start getting burns when you're 10, 11, 12, 13 years of age. That may not show up when you're 18, but it very well could show up when you're 30, 40, 50, 60. So it has a big impact. And as a father, and obviously a dermatologist, I have made sure my kids have been exquisitely good with sun protection and sunscreen from a very early age. If you start noticing that your skin is getting pink at all, get out of the sun. So, and even if you're like partially in the shade, make sure you're completely out of the sun, right? The other component is if you start feeling hot or you literally feel like your skin is burning. I remember when I moved to Tucson, Arizona in 2019, and I had an SPF 50 on. We were outside for about 40 minutes, and I was playing with our kids in the pool, and I literally felt my upper back burning, and that was the indicator. Even with sunscreen on, no more, get out of the sun.
So along with that, if you spend a lot of time outdoors, what is the safest approach to sunbathing this summer while preventing long-term damage? Dr. Christopher has this advice.
I always try to advocate for going outdoors and enjoying the sun in summertime, but you need to be sun protected, right? So using, for me, an SPF 50 or higher is my recommendation. Layering that with sun protective clothing is important, as well as shade. And then making sure that you're trying to utilize sunscreens that are broad spectrum. And if you're in water or sweating, making sure that it is water resistant. And there's no sunscreen that is waterproof. I think the sunscreen companies a long time ago were actually sued for making that claim. So it's no longer on their labeling. But they will tell you if it says sport, it is water resistant, or it will say that it is water resistant. But that timeline is variable. Sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's up to 80 minutes. But if you're in the pool, make sure you're waiting at least 15 minutes before you get in water after you put sunscreen on, and make sure you're reapplying.